In the hallowed annals of horse racing history, there exists a secret tradition that has captured the hearts of millions. A legacy that weaves through time like a tapestry of valor and triumph. The Kentucky Derby, an emblem of greatness, an ode to the equine spirit, and a symbol of unyielding passion. For over a century, the thundering hooves have echoed across the venerable grounds of Churchill Downs as champions emerge to etch their names in the immortal pages of horse racing folklore. From the unforgettable Sir Barton to the legendary Secretariat, each stride has been a symphony of grace and courage. And within this historic realm of flesh and blood, bonds between horse and rider are forged, lasting through the ages. But as the world evolves, so too does the spirit of competition. Today, as we venture into the virtual domain, we pay homage to the pioneers of a new legacy, a legacy that fuses tradition with innovation, and the pursuit of greatness extends beyond the confines of reality. Welcome to this season's virtual Kentucky Derby, where the frontier of horse racing meets the boundless realm of Web3. Here, in this digital arena, horses of pure code and dreams, crafted by visionaries, gallop, fueled by the passion of their creators and riders alike. Within this matrix of pixels, hearts pound with anticipation as the virtual thunder ignites the souls of virtual fans worldwide. The legacy of the Kentucky Derby is not only preserved, but elevated to new heights, where innovation and tradition intertwine in perfect harmony. As we celebrate the past and embrace the future, remember that the essence of horse racing lies not solely in the tangible, but in the intangible. The relentless spirit that transcends the realm of flesh, steel, and circuits. It's the desire to triumph, the will to conquer, and the dream of making history. So, let us unite in admiration for these majestic athletes, both real and virtual, as we ride the currents of time and create new legacies that will echo through generations to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Welcome.
The duo that nobody asked for, Fib, but we're here. We're doing it.
The one they not the one they deserve, but the one they need.
Exactly. And I think that we can hear you, we can hear me. I think that's the first time we might have not been muted on the intro. So shout out to the production team. Wow. Absolutely
really
killing it today.
Together.
Getting it together. It only took 20 seasons, but here we are.
Season 20, that's right.
That's
season
right.
20 virtual Kentucky Derby Day. Welcome. It's Saturday, baby. I got a little bit of Japanese whiskey. We have a little bit of digital horse racing per se. And we got a lot. What we got a lot of action today. A lot of action. How many races? 7 races. $35,000. $35,000, by the way. That's more than, I'm pretty sure that's more than we've been giving away in general, but that's just total with the purses, with the with all the purse bonuses, with the pick pool bonuses, the juice. So if you're here, you're smart. You're just doing the right thing. You're doing what's right for you. What's right for your wallet. What's right for your soul, for your heart. It's virtual Derby Day, man. What else is there? What else is there to say, Mo?
Well, I mean, we got some horses to look at. We got 7 minutes until the Bourbon County Stakes. It's going to be a benchmarker. Again, had to run 10 benchmarks in season 20. Looks like that. Got a lot more activity this season. Love to see it. But yeah, so not quite sure who landed as the post-time favorite. Looks like it was...
Woodford. I should have... Yeah, Ron Dior says... no Woodford Reserve. You're right. I actually was even eyeing the bottle of Woodford, and that would have been appropriate for the day. In fact, let's just scratch that and say it's Woodford. Who
There
can
you
tell?
go.
It's labelless. Who can tell?
Yep, let's just end the stream. We'll fire it back up. We'll do the whole intro, the whole video.
Men in Black. Choop.
Yeah, I know people do enjoy the intro video, so appreciate the kind words on that. But yeah, so post time favorite Fib going into race 1, Super Screw, GBG.
Super Screw, yes. Yeah, it's a big day. We're going to see all the big boys come out and compete. People at the top, but hopefully we get a couple of new legacies started today. Always a chance on race day, man. Some horses just come alive on days like this. You make it this far, and then your horse wakes up Saturday morning and is like, I'm going to win today. And then it does. But yeah,
Well, you know who didn't say that? Who has never said that was Life of Riley. 7-3 in 25 races, so definitely did not wake up and say I'm going to win today. But sure does try. Sure does try. I mean, listen.
Sure does try. Yeah,
10 podiums out of 25.
Stable income, yeah.
But hey, qualified for the benchmarks, and there we go in the race.
Here today.
Made it here today. It's got a chip in a chair, right? It's the old saying in poker. So all you need is a horse and a shot. So.
It's true. Chip in a chair. That's a great saying for a day like today. And you do get those long shots. I mean, it's an interesting thing about this field. It's like there's one S plus in this entire field. Now, granted, it is a benchmark race, so that could have something to do with it. Would you say so?
Sure.
Yeah, but it's limited at 90. This is the first race of the evening. It's going to go 90-70, 90-70. In terms of the benchmark maximum restrictions here. And if you don't know, for our viewers at home, and by the way, if you're just tuning in and you've never watched a virtual Kentucky Derby before, it is just it's a great time to make some picks, grab some Derby, make some picks. There's juice aplenty. The pools are overflowing. All you need is a little bit of exclamation. No, we're not on Kick. I can't say that. Go to pfldrf.com. Go to pfldrf.com and check it out. It's a great way to view the card. Each one of these races is on there. Shout outs to Liberty Tree. If you're in the chat, if you're watching, perfect day for pfldrf.com, and it will help you make your picks. Anyway,
absolutely.
Benchmarks, basically sort of an aggregate of the speed of a horse over a few races of certain types, unweighted races, so you sort of know what a horse is really capable of. And these are basically designed to make the field as competitive as possible while sort of banding groups of competitive horses. This one, the 90 max benchmark, banded at 90 benchmark. I mean, that's very high. It's very high, and you do see some pretty fast horses in this race. I'm seeing 84, like mid 80s max fleet figures in this race.
Yep.
But you're not going to get the top of the top, because the top of the top are going to be competing for the super juicy purses. Not to say these aren't juicy, but we're talking about $10,000 juicy. So these it's a little bit different, but even so. So you mentioned the odds-on favorite Super Screw out of GVG, and I can see why this horse is a favorite. I mean, it's got a great number of wins out of 12 starts at 7. 5 wins, so it's like 40% win rate at the distance. It doesn't look bad on yielding. It's got like that half of a firm star, which means that it perform pretty well. Either way, probably I bet it performs not even that badly on soft. Who knows? But I mean, it looks like a good contender. But in my opinion, there's a couple of other ones. I think Beretta Boy out of Midnight Stables looks like it could be a contender. Just put in an 80. Beretta Boy 17, and that horse came in 21-1. That's wild. It is an S minus, but it doesn't matter. S minus doesn't matter, man.
I mean, what about fan favorite? What about fan favorite? Beetlejuice out of Beetlejuice State. Oh, I said it 3 times. Beetlejuice, what about Beetlejuice? Yeah, the fan favorite. I mean, this horse. We've seen this horse run before.
Ran once at 7 furlongs. It ran one time at 7 furlongs. It looks great on yielding, but the 7 furlongs record kind of undeveloped, I'd say. That doesn't count it out, though. That certainly doesn't count it out. Lack of data does not mean bad data.
Right.
Yeah. So I would not count that horse out. Maybe that'd be a sprinkle from me. Beetlejuice.
There you go.
Plus Beetlejuice, great stable, making waves. We got Tombstone in here too. We got to check it out. Let's look at the 1 S plus in this race. That's the 9. Risk It. out of Pink Slip Racing. Looking pretty strong. The only thing that I would count against this horse is its record on yielding. Overall, it's run 7 times, only won once out of 7 times. Now, 1 out of 7, it's not so bad. It's really not so bad, especially in the large scheme of horse racing. But if you're going to compare it to the favorite, it kind of diminishes the odds a little bit, especially because the 7 furlong record is pretty comparable to me. How about the 13 Sky Ride out of Driney Park? No wins at 7, but still looks like a little bit of a contender to me. And I can't count out Driney. Always making moves. Risk It. Look at that face. Did you see that face? What do you think that face was telling you, Mo?
I mean, these horses, if they could talk, you know,
They'd tell a story.
they would tell
They'd tell you
stories.
so much. Yeah.
4
They'd tell you
furlong
all-
stories, 8
tell you
furlong
everything you
stories,
need to know.
12 furlong stories, lots of stories, lots of stories.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, we are going up on about 1 minute now till post time. Chat, get your
I got 30
get your
seconds.
picks in. Oh yeah, we got 30 seconds, 25,
Okay.
20. Chat, let us
Just
know
make
who
sure
you
we're in
like.
the same universe.
Well, yeah, we're in the same universe.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for is it on Steam? No, not on Steam. It is just photofinish.live. It is our own, hosted on our own website, on our own servers. Not available through Steam, but you know, it is available through the App Store on Apple, on iOS. So you can check it out there as well.
Yep.
Looks like we're going into race number 1. Look at beautiful virtual Churchill Downs. Shoutouts to Churchill Downs. Shoutouts to the Kentucky Derby, our beloved partner. It is time for race 1. And the talented Mo Nose will be in the box and calling the race for us. So please sit back and enjoy. And good luck.
All right, thank you, Fib. Here we go. It is post time, and they're off and running. Super Screw quickly out to the lead. Then comes Sailor King in front of Upside Down. Upside Down, going to make a charge here early. Back in 4th position, the Blue Silks. That's Life of Riley, followed by Up End Time and Sham 69. Going to round out the leaderboard here at 21-1 as they head out the chute and on to the main track. Opening quarter in 23 and change. And Super Screw now thought they had it in the bag here, but Sailor King has other ideas. The Sailor King's going to take over the lead, and Super Screw's going in the wrong direction. Back up front, though, Sailor King now builds a quick, commanding 6-length lead over Life of Riley. Risk It's also there, battling back. Here comes Super Screw down the center of the track. Beetlejuice trying to get in the mix here along with Beretta Boy and Upside Down. Also not out of it, starting to gain with every stride. Half mile and 48 and change now around the far turn. Here we go. Top of the stretch, we're shaking them up and heading for home. Who wants some of this beautiful, beautiful derby here? It's Sailor King, that lead 2, but on the outside, here comes Beetlejuice, awkward eye contact, instantly denied by Sailor King. Sailor King going to pull away yet again after that move, but it's going to be Sailor King bringing home in the opener for the Bourbon County Stakes. Sailor King at 21-1 over Beetlejuice, and Risk It. Woo! There we go. In the open, not wasting any time, Fib. We're out here.
Nice.
We're out here. Beetlejuice running. Stable Income running with Sailor King with a race.
Dang, yeah. Look at that Stable Income Silk. That's an update, right? That's looking crispy, man. Look at that. The 2 horseshoes. Come on.
I love it. I love it.
Love it, yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. By the way, if you're new to the game, photofinish.live. Sign up, grab some Derby. You can do it with the credit card. You don't even, $1 equals 80 Derby. And you can play the ponies, for as much or as little as you would like. Always a good time. All these horses are player owned. It's a skill-based game. The outcomes are non-deterministic, but the horses do have their own real, true to life genetics and differing of abilities, differing of performance capability. And it is, I don't know, it's just it's a good way to spend a Saturday afternoon, I would say. One of the better ways. A way that we all, I imagine most of us enjoy. So another thing is that you don't have to only pick one winner, and you don't have to only pick the winner when you make picks. You can pick first. You can pick a horse to get on the podium. So top 3, that's making a show pick. A place pick is top 2. So when you place a place pick, you're saying I think this horse will get 1 or 2, and the pick will pay out either way. So you don't have to just pick the winner, and you don't only have to pick one winner. You can hedge. So I'm just saying, just giving you the tools. I'm handing you the tools for which you will with which you will decide your own destiny. You know what I mean? But we're on to race 2 here of the evening. That would be the Bluegrass Commemorative.
Okay,
Coming up,
70 max.
70 max indeed. Oh, you still have your voicemail.
I'm used to normal Derby days where I'm muted in between races. There we go. Should be good. Yeah, this is a 70 max benchmark race. Looks like Olympian Eclipse. Another GBG favorite. Last one, not quite sure how that panned out, but got another favorite going in here in the 70 max.
Yeah, who's the favorite in this one?
Olympian Eclipse is the one.
Olympian Eclipse, okay.
The one horse, 18 races, 3, 1, and 4. Beautiful white coat. I do love the white coats in this game.
Another GBG favorite. Yeah, the white coats it's the Gandalf horse, you know? It's the Shadowfax. You don't know
beautiful.
what I'm talking about, do you?
Thou shalt not pass, right?
Yes,
that guy? Yeah.
That's the guy, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to get copyright infringement on Derby Day. But, yeah, sure. I'll do his voice way too well. Yes, Olympian Eclipse.
Yeah, interesting thing about these races, by the way, you did have to compete. It's down by 2 races, it looks like. You had to compete in 10 benchmark races to qualify for these. Back in the day, you just had to qualify these by kind of I think at first it was just kind of a selection committee situation where basically we had an algorithm. We called it the selection committee though, but it would pick horses with the best, basically the strongest horses in a few dimensions. And then we changed it to 28-day earnings. And now it is 28-day earnings on top of having to have qualified in 10 benchmark races, which means that you raced in benchmark races, which means you are the hero. Everybody that's in these races, you're the hero that we need, because people need, and tell me if you agree with this, Mo, people need to love on benchmark races more.
Oh, you're telling me, brother. Oh, you're telling me. Yeah, trust me, I try. I try to race them as much as I can. I love them. My horses love them. Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Tell the people what you think the kind of horse is that you would enter into a benchmark race.
I see, that's the beauty of it. I mean, so if you take, because they run in three flea figure increments, right? So if you take a 69, you're gonna have anything from like an A plus to an S, sometimes an S plus, and some of them just bad breeds, or maybe had a bad run, a couple bad races, whatever. But you get a nice, healthy mix of horses. And I still firmly believe that's the future of PFL. I know it's Derby Day. I'm not here to get on my high horse, but I truly believe that they are the future of PFL, and I think that we should be racing them more. So they're great races, though. I mean, like I said, it's just to me they run like, because there's no weight, right? So you don't have to worry about the A plus with the 2 pounds, and maybe doesn't really like it, can't shake off the weight, and I don't know, I just feel like the racing is like more free and open. I'm trying to, you put me on the spot, Bib, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right, trying to toe the company line here on Derby Day. But it's Olympian Eclipse is still the post-time favorite. Chad, who do you like?
I had to ask.
Get me out of a jam, Chad. I know you got to ask.
People need to know, and you're a player. I'm on the team. It's always awesome to hear what players have to say. Of course, we get so much of that, but we could never get enough. We can never get enough player feedback, and just it's also good for new players to see these different race types. This is basically like a performance restricted race. So if you have a horse and you think within the performance window you can make it happen in this race type, you are controlling. You're putting the parameters on what you think your horse can do and choosing the best place for your horse to race. We didn't really get a lot of time to talk about, we got a little sidetracked, but hey, 8-horse field, Olympian Eclipse, odds-on favorite. Probably a lot of good deals here. We'll see if we get any upsets, but we're headed into the race. The Bluegrass Commemorative starts now.
Alrighty, we are back at the track, Jack. Time for another one here on Photo Finish Live. online for the Bluegrass Commemorative, and they're racing. Dude Strong, best out the gate down the center of the track. Bringing along with them is Whiplash Jockey. Then back to the pack of Olympian Eclipse, post-time favorite. Awaken on the outside with Fair Witness down below, and Bravos checking in here at 10-1 as they make their way around the opening turn in this 11 furlong left turning affair on the dirt. Soft track for some stakes racing here. Tons of Derby on the line as they make their way past the clubhouse and to the wire for the first time. Opening quarter in a smooth 25 and change. No hurry up top as Whiplash Jockey and Olympian Eclipse have now gone off yonder. A little race of their own here up top. Dueling it out. Whiplash Jockey still up front. Length and a half as Olympian Eclipse going to take a little bit of a breather here. Foot off the gas for 4 furlongs in. Back to the next pack of Uncorked with Sunset Phil. Down at the rail, ground-saving Trip, Awaken, not going anywhere, and Dude Strong, your early leader, now back in the 6 hole, trying to gain some ground here on the front runners. We are making our way now into the back stretch, and things are starting to heat up. In the back of the pack, but no change up front as Whiplash Jockey still holding steady here at 7.75 to 1. But right on cue, here comes Olympian Eclipse, shaking him down at the rail now, putting that Derby to work. It's going to be Olympian Eclipse now taking over the lead as Whiplash Jockey is going back the wrong direction. But making our way now into the far turn. Anything can happen here on photo finish. Here we go. Olympian Eclipse down low. Whiplash Jockey still strong on the outside. Uncorked and Sunset Phil duking it out, potentially for podiums. We got to get rolling here from the back of the pack. Bravos and Awaken still chasing Butterflies. 1 mile and 1:43, and we're heading for home. It's Olympian Eclipse now still up top by a length, making 2 over Whiplash Jockey as Whiplash Jockey did not bring their A game today, even though it's probably an S horse. Here we go now down past the 8th pole. Olympian Eclipse Uncorked is firing one on the outside, but it's going to be too little too late as Olympian Eclipse puts in the work when it counts and says, see ya, I'll send you a postcard. It's going to be Olympian Eclipse for GBG over Whiplash Jockey and Uncorked. Wow.
Wow, that was a great. I want to congratulate you on that call, Mo, because really, those horses were all kind of happy with their positions throughout that race. I would say, would you, being generous, those horses were kind of like, yeah, I'm cool. I don't need to. I like where I'm at. You know what I mean?
I would agree.
Just a little bit of contention at the top, but yeah, Olympian Eclipse, a chalk victory, a long race with plenty, but somehow plenty to talk about for Mo. Thank you for that one. But we are in to the Mint Julep Memorial. Congratulations to all the winners there. Taking home some delicious crown tokens, the PFL ecosystem token.
Oh yeah.
Governance token.
That sweet crown.
Yeah, you get the crown purses here for each one of these. But we're into the 3rd out of 4 undercards. We're back to 90 max fleet figures, a full field, 18 horses, and let's see what we have here. I mean, first of all, I feel like I do see maybe 1 or 2 newcomers to this race, but for the most part, pretty well occupied by the big boys. But Michigan Swift out of TD Fizz Racing. Let's see if we can make a case for this horse, because it is, TD Fizz Racing have not seen this stable win a big purse. It'd be a great one. Always nice to see a new W, and it does happen. We see it plenty of the time. Probably every season we see a new champion minted in some big race like this. But Michigan Swift out of TD Fizz actually does not look bad. That's the one horse we're talking about, by the way, in the Mint Julep Memorial. You can still, picks are closed on this race, by the way, if you're looking to make picks, but they are open for another minute on the Red River Run. And of course, they're open on all 3 of the major races tonight. That's the Twin Spires Sprint, the Twin Spires Gallop, and the virtual Kentucky Derby. Each one of those is $10,000 in the purse, and each one of those has a nice, juicy pick pool for you to make some educated, speculative, and intelligent calls, or perhaps off the cuff, intuitive calls. But either way, they are
Yes, sir.
But here we are, Mint Julep Memorial. Odds-on favorite horse, the 15, Last Prodigal Son. I believe we've actually seen this horse. It is strong, but let's look back at the one real quick. Top of the pitch here. TD Fizz Michigan Swift, 15 starts, 3 wins, so not bad. Nice max fleet. Let's see how that looks against the rest of the field. But actually, it looks like kind of like this horse could be a contender, at least for the podium. We'll have to see the rest of the field to make a determination whether they could, realistically, based on speculation, get first. Just looking at the paper, of course, they could just do it anyway. They could just do it anyway if it's that day. But let's keep on looking. Let's look at the favorite now. The 15, Last Prodigal Son. So the thing about this horse is that it is racing on an injury risk. Even though it's the odds-on favorite, it must have been, it must have hit the Tavern Commemorative benchmark, I guess, the 18th yesterday. So racing within 24 hours of its last race, but still does look really strong. And if you want to talk about top speed, my friends, look at that top speed on that horse. Now, it's not putting in that time. It hasn't put in that time in a long time because this is a 5-year-old. This is a 5-year-old horse. 5-year-old horses, kind of like, you could almost say one year off of being a geriatric horse. I don't want to say, would you say 6-year-old is geriatric? It's senior, of being a senior. So sort of in a, this horse is kind of like, I want to say it's almost like in its 30s. I hope that doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. You know what I mean? kind of like in its, in the end of its prime. 5 years old, Last Prodigal Son. But still, super impressive record, running well, really, really nice. I mean, that's definitely an easy odds-on favorite. That's a quick odds-on favorite. But I could see how other horses could make a more subtle case for that odds-on, for that fastest horse in the race. Of course, we'll have to see on the track who actually gets to that point. But Last Prodigal Son does look strong on paper for sure. Whiskey Europe out of Midnight Stables doesn't look bad by any means. 3 years old, already put in a 90. Not that long ago. I feel like that's a dark horse. It may even be a black horse. Can we check if that's a black horse? Whiskey Europe? Nope. Not literally a dark horse. Just figuratively. Figuratively only. Let's see. Bloomed doesn't look bad out of Trawlers. And we have about 5 seconds left till we dive into it. So we're going to see how it plays out.
Wasting no time today, Fib. Wasting no time.
We're jumping right into it, man. These go quick. Hold on to your butts.
All right, we are back. On a hustle and bustle and trying to move in between the booth and trackside here for the calls. I love to exercise, and these horses love to run too, and away they go. Here in the Mint Julep Memorial is balls on my forehead. You got to break out to the lead. Crown the Olympia up in second here. Sonic Bull moves along in third. Michigan Swift down at the rail in the 4-hole. Moment Right is going to move in fifth, and Anarchy in the UK going to round out the leaderboard here as this field makes their way around the only turn. It is 5 furlong affair, left turning affair on the dirt, yielding track, opening quarter in 23 and change, as Crown the Olympia has now built a 6-length lead over the favorite, Last Prodigal Son. They hit the top of the stretch and they shake them up, bring them home. It's Crown the Olympia falling apart like an old Buick. Somebody called AAA and get that one off the side of the road. Dying Rose, on the other hand, flying on by here, 16-1. Oyo Attitude, Last Prodigal Son, fighting here for podium placements. But it's going to be Dying Rose coming alive here in the final stretch over Last Prodigal Son and Sonic Bull. Yeesh.
Wow. Dying Rose, man.
Wasn't dying today.
Really?
Live and kicking, my friend. What a freaking run that was.
Dying Rose, Last Prodigal Son, though, still showing up big, still taking this purse. On a day like today, the virtual Kentucky Derby, the undercards are paying out nice. The undercards are paying out nice. You getting the money on any of these races, you're probably pretty happy. But especially top 3, you hit the podium, you're getting paid out nice, no matter what it is, no matter which one of these undercards it is. However, the majors will pay you a little bit nicer. But still, not a bad day. Not a bad day to get second, not a bad day to get third. But congratulations, Midnight Stables. I'd say out of the 3 stables on that podium, Midnight is definitely probably the underdog in terms of horses in the stable overall. No offense to them. It's just that GVG and Big Brain are kind of like in a way maybe some of the top, at least top 5 in the game. But anyhow, Red River Run
I
coming
mean,
up next.
I'm anti-classification. You know that, Pip. I don't want to put anybody
Yeah.
into I don't want to pigeonhole somebody into a top anything. But hey, that was a great race by Midnight.
I'm just saying.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
really, really
I'm
well,
just
yeah.
playing devil's advocate, messing around. But
Hey, man,
we
those tables are crazy. Yeah, those are crazy.
we
Winning
all
out
know.
over them is impressive.
We all know. We've seen, again, we just talked about it, a barn like Beetlejuice, again, almost seemingly like out of nowhere coming in, running, lower end races, and then bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know, it's like, damn, dude's all over the place, As a matter of fact, shout out to the Paddock AI stuff. I know they were talking about, making LTF great again and all that stuff. And we've been talking about that initiative for who knows how long. But hey, I mean, Beetlejuice got a shout out in there too. They, up and coming stable. I mean, rightfully deserved, right? So, again, I just want to kind of show you guys it's not just the big dogs that are always running, or the big horses. I mean, there's a lot of people up and coming. It's but the price of the price of entry now, it's so easy to get in. You can get in, you can learn. Take it from Latuda. I don't know if Latuda's in here today, but Latuda's like, hey, if it wasn't for the lower class, I would never learned how to race purples, and it's true, and now more than ever. So anyway, that's a little side
That's
rant.
true. You could to start playing. I mean, you can get in. You could run. $5 entry claimers or something. So you could run.
Sure.
You can basically you get to choose your stakes when you play this game. You know what I mean? And you can learn. You can learn with stakes still, so you still learn. I always feel like I learn better when there's something on the line. You know what I mean? So you can learn that way, and it doesn't even have to. Yeah, like it's not like too. It's really not too bad to get in, start learning, start racing, learn a thing or two, maybe even turn a little bit of a claimer profit if you have a hot horse on your hands or whatever. But yeah, once you get the hang of the way that it all works, that's when you can choose to amp it up for yourself. You can go into the higher grades. Basically, the higher grade your horse, kind of like the higher stakes that you play for. Would you agree with me, Mo?
Oh,
Doesn't
100%.
necessarily have to be true. I mean, it's kind of on a gradient for each grade based on the performance of the horse. But generally speaking, the higher grade your horse, the more performant your horse, the higher the stakes that you get to play for.
Well, the higher potential. I mean, but again, like
higher earning potential, higher speed potential, higher everything potential.
But higher risk, But again, it's just like sports. I mean, you don't skip college and go, straight to the pros. I mean, maybe you used to actually. So maybe a bad, analogy there. But in most cases, you have to go through AAA before you get to the big leagues, and it's kind of the same deal here. And I think, again, with the state of the game right now, it's the perfect opportunity. So, yeah, if you're new getting in, download the app on the iOS. You can also play directly on photofinish.live. You can make a little bookmark on your homepage and go right to the page, at any time. So
take it slow. A great way to get, in my opinion, an underrated way to get started is to try your hand at making some picks. You can throw 80 Derby. You can throw 80 Derby, which is like $1 on these races. And making picks, it's like, especially, you look at the DRF, you can even go through the site, look through the site, look at these, you'll start getting familiar with the stables, the bloodlines. You can go real deep into this game. You can kind of glance at it on a surface level. You could look at the record like I do when we go through these, because we only have so much time. Or you could go deep. You could look at the potential of these horses. You could look at their bloodlines. You could determine their performance in different race types, all these things, and compare on this very nitty-gritty level. And if you can do that and just make picks, you don't even have to even necessarily start by having a horse. If you can do that, you can play the game. Would you agree with me about that, Mo?
Yeah, and there might even be a Roku app, that was early released onto the store, and you can get it on there. I know it's not fully functioning yet, but it's just, again, the idea of where everything's heading. This post parade that we're showing right now with flipping through, we could very easily have the Roku app just kind of like up on the stream here. You know what I'm saying? Showing the horses walking around, again, like a real life pre-race post parade. So yeah, again, my point is that when even like my friends, my family members, they all see this game, they've always said the same thing. Damn, this looks good, like you watch the horses run. I show it like up on my computer screen, and people are like, oh, you watching insert real life horse track here. I don't want to get in trouble for it, But people are like, oh, you watch a real horse racing, play some bets or whatever. I'm like, nope, this is a game. It's a platform. Every horse is owned and operated by a real human being. They're not randomly generated. They don't have random stats. Like you said, people spend hours, days. I mean,
it's non-deterministic, but it's not random.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you ever go to like a casino, you could go up to a wall and get like this random digital horse racing where these horses didn't exist 5 minutes ago. They were just made up by a computer game, and you put the money down on a horse name, and there's no stats or anything. It's just it runs, right? This is way different. These things are all kind of like there's insight, there's research behind it. Like that's what makes this game special, in my opinion, or the platform. But yeah, we're going into it, Fib. We got another one here.
It's legacies, histories. We're in season 20. So thanks for hopping on board. Not every season is a new opportunity. So season 20 doesn't necessarily mean anything. Every season is the beginning of a new legacy. Every season is the beginning of another story. And we are into the last race of the undercard part of the evening. Next races are majors, but here we go. This is the Red River Run 70 benchmark max. Take it away, Mo.
All right.
And away they go. Join this race in progress. It's Red River Run. Activate, breaks best of it, but tight pack is Brassy, Pony Got Brass, Looney Louie, and Canyon Storm. Also up in the mix here in the early stages as we make our way into the opening turn of this 9 furlong left turning affair on the dirt. Soft track today here live from virtual Churchill Downs. Quite sure if it's poncho night. No, they do that here, virtual Churchill, but hopefully you brought your poncho from another virtual track as it is soggy out here today. Making our way now into the backstretch. Adaptive holding on to that lead over Looney Louie. Next back to the pack of Activate, Canyon Storm. See the light, see the sunlight even. Not today in this track, but see the sunlight running along in fifth in front of Silent in the Morning, who now tries to catch their footing here and make a push into the far turn, half mile and 50 and change. Who wants some up front? It's all Adaptive. Nobody else here with interest. Canyon Storm now starts to pick up the pace. Activate not going away. Silent in the Morning. That horse from all the way in the back of the pack now sitting pretty in fourth. Looney Louie trying to backtrack down at the rail after a ground-saving trip. Let's see if it'll pay off. 3/4 in the books, 115, and you know what that means. It's time for the money shot. Round the far turn, and we're heading for home. Adaptive, who was all alone by themselves for so long, now has the company of Looney Louie. Activate also taking a crack here at the leader, but Looney Louie easily going on by. Adaptive back to second, back to third. Canyon Storm makes a push here for Looney Louie, but Looney Louie gonna hang on here to the wire. It's going to be Looney Louie for BBC over Canyon Storm and Activate.
Wow. Another Midnight Stables crown take. How about that, man? Imagine just stacking up like, I don't know, 3K crown. How much did you get? 1.5K crown?
You know, that's just...
2K, 3K crown? That's nice. Nice little day. Nice little day. Just in one little moment there. Looney Louie at a BBC, I guess, probably the British Broadcasting Association. They're probably bullish.
100%.
I would imagine. Yeah. And then JPEG Lord Stables, JPEG Lord, fearsome stable, still showing up, taking third place there. Congratulations to each of these stables. But enough of that. Okay, enough of that. Respect. All due respect. Respectfully. Enough undercard. It's time for majors. It's time for majors. It's time to drastically up the stakes. As we were talking about, you up the stakes. The better your horse, the higher stakes you can play for. There is no more high stakes opportunity than races like those that are coming up next in our game, Photo Finish Live. So, to explain that a little bit further, this is basically the top of the top. This is the pinnacle of racing in our game. The next 3 races, each one of these races has $10,000 in the purse, waiting to be taken by the hungriest, most competitive horses, the best, the most strategic, diligent, brave stables, competing for this $10,000 purse. And what is happening here is each one of the next 3 races is a different distance. The first one is a sprint. The second one is a gallop, which is mid-distance. Mo, your voice is still on. The third one is the virtual Kentucky Derby itself, 10 furlongs, just like the real Kentucky Derby, really just modeled after it. All of these will take place on virtual Churchill Downs, just like the rest of the races have. And we have about 3.5 minutes, so we should probably get into this field. And you can still make picks on the gallop and the Derby. So get your picks in. You have 15 minutes on the virtual Kentucky Derby itself. So if you want something that you have a little bit of extra time on, pfldrf.com, or you just use our website. Use our website. Use your brain. Use your heart, your soul.
If I only had a brain.
Yes, and make some picks. But here we are. Here we are. Virtual Kentucky Derby kind of starts now with the Twin Spires sprint, named after the beautiful Twin Spires of Churchill Downs. Odds-on favorite horse is the 15. That's Supersonic 2.0. What is up with the GVG favorites here, Mo? Just GVG favorite after GVG favorite. And have we seen a GVGW?
I believe the
Yeah,
second.
one.
Yeah, I think the second benchmark was GVG.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, listen, the people know. The people's champion, so to speak, is GVG.
He is kind of the people's champion, yeah.
I mean, listen, did a lot for the game. Shout out to GVG.
He's the man of the people.
Yeah, man of the people. I like to consider myself the Mo of the people, but he is absolutely the man of the people. Yes, different category. Yes. I'm just looking at Bella's Ojo real quick from OEB. I love these little speckled, kind of like they were walking past like a painting project or something, and just got a little splash on them, little dots. Want to throw that out
beautiful.
there?
Yeah, dappled, I believe.
Is that dapple? Is that what we call it? Yeah.
Bella's, I want to say ojo, like Spanish for eye. OEB, one eye blind.
I could barely speak English.
The stable, so Bella's ojo. So I imagine that's the reference chain there. But let's look at the odds on favorite just to start. See what you guys are all up to. By the way, odds on favorite here. If this horse really does look dominant, you're still getting almost 10-1 on this horse. So you got almost 10-1 on this horse. Not a bad deal in certain cases, but and this horse does look super, super solid. I see performances at 14 horse fields. I see seventh out of 18th, though not necessarily the biggest endorsement, but first out of 14th is really nice. That was on Finish Line Friday, race 5. Made it through. That was a 6 furlong race. This is a 5 furlong race this time, though, and sometimes that can make a little bit of a difference, depending on how the horse is sort of. Where it's, these horses seem to have, some of them I feel like they have multiple sweet spots. Some of them are so good, like Charlie Chaplin. We bring up Charlie Chaplin. That was one of the best horses I think we've ever seen in this game. That horse was just kind of good everywhere because it was just a really good horse. Smoochie Poops, which is a ridiculous name, I know, out of Driney Park. Another horse that just kind of won all over the place. Different archetypes, different distances, whatever. It just showed up, won big. But yeah, so Supersonic, I mean, kind of a modest record at 5, I want to say. Like 2 wins out of 7 starts. Not necessarily super amazing to me, but it does have a nice top end, nice consistent performances, just 80s all through. Every one of these horses is 3 years old, so that's kind of an equalizing factor, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
A horse that I like also is the 14 at Sambry Stables. It is off preference. The thing about Supersonic 2.0 is not only is it on preference, it's quite on preference because it has a nice record on the good. Very solid, very respectable. Has hit the podium 65 rounding up % of the time on a good track. This is the track. The conditions today for this race are good. So that's what this horse is coming in to this race. That's the kind of thing it's coming in on. Oh, are we already starting this? Oh my God.
Heading
Did I
down.
talk like 3 minutes about one horse? Are you kidding me?
We were cycling through it. Listen, man.
All right. Let's go down to the track. Let's go down
the
the track.
gift of the
we'll
gab.
cover more next time. We'll go around faster. But here we go.
All right, here we go. And they're off here in the Twin Spires Sprint. Balloon Dior, or Ballon Dior even, going to take out the lead along with Vegas Showgirl. Sherry's Casino trots along in third along with Poor Man's Rose. Bella's Ojo out there in fifth, going to try to get it right. And Solitude there going to be along with the Beetlejuice Stables. S Plus here now, cruising along the outside. That's Solitude Village. My apologies. Opening quarter and 23 and change as they are flying now. It's Vegas Showgirl, the one to catch. Round the turn. Vegas Showgirls with a 7 or 8 length lead, but insert coin. Here comes new challenger. Glorious Triumph now, eyes set on the prize. Cruising along here, gaining with every step on the outside. Vegas Showgirl tries to hold on, and a high step your way to the back room as Vegas Showgirl now in the wrong direction. Glorious Triumph takes it over here. Here comes Silver Chaos, but it's going to be Glorious Triumph, Silver Chaos, and Vegas Showgirl. 24, put it in the mirror. For 420, it's going to be 24-6 Glorious Triumph over Silver Chaos. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, Silva Chaos, man. Okay. Well, hey, Valkyrie, still great showing out of Valkyrie. Valkyrie stables, you know, Lacey, beloved community member with that crispy silk, looking awesome. But Glorious Triumph, GVG taking it with the horse that nobody expected. 21-1 this horse came in. This is the 20 horse. Showed up big, man. And let's see where the odds on favorite was on that one. Ended up Supersonic 2.0 ended up ninth. So kind of Supersonic 2.0 kind of got that middle of the pack finish, kind of like the Juvenile Lucky Dash or some of these other big horse fields that I see that it kind of placed in the middle of. Maybe it was just a little off today though. It doesn't, you know, still a good horse. But yeah, Silva Chaos didn't necessarily look that much of the horse. Granted, we didn't look at that many horses in this field, but Silva Chaos had a Breaking Bad. Love seeing a Breaking Bad horse hit the podium. Breaking Bad, the mysterious stable of which the identity of which I still think nobody really knows. Maybe that's changed over time. But I remember when Breaking Bad came on the scene, literally just nobody even knew. I don't even think he was like directly in Discord or anything. I'm sure some of the top players have known him. Maybe he's effused out a little bit, gotten a little more social. But you know, just a cool story on that guy. But here we are, Twin Spires Gallop into the next race. Congratulations to every horse that was in the money. That was the top 5. Still, even if you get 5th, it's still like 28,000 Derby or something. It's still pretty nice little day. Okay, so not bad, not even bad to get 5th. Not bad to be in the money any day. Always nice to be in the money. But you know, that's not how everybody thinks, Mo. Some people think if you're not first, you're last.
I was going to say the Ricky Bobby effect. I had a feeling that's where you were going with that.
Yeah, some people feel that way.
I mean, you know, 40, 60% podium rate, I mean, can keep you somewhat around even. Catch a couple good races, catch a heater. Next thing you know, you're up a couple $100. You know what I mean? It's very easy to kind of catch that streak once you kind of dial in your horse a little bit too. So, you know, it's not always, you know, if you don't win, you know, not first, you're last, but it's like I said, I feel like in this game,
it's not really true. It's the kind of thing that's only true in your ego.
Yeah, but I think we see it on these horses. I mean, even the horses that are winning, I mean, the win percentage probably 30-40%. You know, I mean, these horses aren't winning 90%. I mean, they're hitting the podium. You know,
30-40% win rate is nice. You have a 30-40% win rate horse, you're probably happy, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even the favorite here.
You race in big fields. You know, you got to imagine if there's 12 horses and you're 30-40% winning. You know, it's not. You're gonna be in the money. But you're beyond in the money if you win one of these majors. That's the thing. Especially nowadays, I feel like with the amount that some people are paying to buy these horses, to breed these horses, like you're definitely your ROI, unless you gambled super big in places that you shouldn't have, is probably you are now in the green cleanly after winning a race like that. I would imagine it'd be hard to still be in the red after winning a race like that.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the favorite coming up in the Twin Spire Gallop. Petty Spirit checking in at 7.16-1. And again, it's a 30...
another GBG favorite. Oh my god.
Another GBG favorite.
Champion, man. The people's champion.
And again, roughly 30%, win rate. So,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, but 20 out of 29 on the podium, right? So,
yes, I'm so happy that the 19 horses named Rizzler. It's such a funny name. Do you know that little fat kid that's like, like the Costco guys?
Oh, I do. Yeah, George Cookies. Yeah, they.
Yeah, the Rizzler. They just like ran. I thought the Rizzler was like related to them. He looks kind of like just a mini version of them. Like Italian American.
Yeah.
Sort of like chubby Italian American kid. And Mo and I can both say this because we're both Italian, all right? So we're not like making fun of Italians or anything, all right?
It's true.
The Rizzler is so funny to me, dude. I love the Rizzler. So I'm automatically rooting for this horse. That's all I'm saying. The 19, I love the Rizzler. He came in at 8-1. So other people like this horse too. The odds on favorite horse in this race is 7.16 to 1. So basically, 7-1. This horse is basically 8-1. So it's obviously a strong horse, and it does look really strong. Has that 30% win rate roughly, 72% on the podium. Nice show pick, by the way. If you made that pick, it's probably a smart one. Just a few Derby, just a little hedge. You know what I mean? Just like 80, 100 Derby to show. That means you clean up all the juice in the entire pool if you're right. In the show pool.
Absolutely.
Anyway. So not bad, but it's virtual Kentucky Derby day, and I feel like we would be sinning if we didn't mention YSM. And here we go. I feel like this is the first YSM horse that
Team's
I've
back.
noticed. Yeah, they're back. Here we are in the gallop, but Violence out tonight. The 13 YSM deigning
Oh,
to
he's got 2 in
participate
here.
once again. He's got 2. Who's the other one?
4, bend and break.
Violence out tonight looks really good. Violence out tonight looks so good. And I'm confused why it came in 19-1, because this horse actually looks really, really strong. In a way, it looks better than Rizzler, to me. Violence out tonight. It's not its firm preference is not amazing or anything, but I mean, find a horse that has like a really strong firm preference in this race that you like. I kind of like. Okay, I'll answer my own question. The 7, Enso out of Driney Park, super strong firm preference, but no, that's not necessarily any better on the good. Besides its top end, on the good looks pretty strong. Violence out tonight, Enso, even though it is an S, still has a really high 85 fleet top end on a good track. So that's pretty powerful, pretty strong. Pretty strong performance on a track like that. And of course, it does have those 3 firm stars. This horse is preferenced out of its mind. It's 8 out of 9 preference stars on the race. So looking pretty good, but came in 17-1. These 20 horse races, man, I gotta say, you got 2 minutes left to make picks on the virtual Kentucky Derby. Like 20 horse races, things just sneak by. Things go unnoticed. I feel like there's always an angle to take, always a golden line to see, like the thread just sticking up only to you, and you got to grab it. You know what I mean? You got to grab it. Those kind of opportunities abound in a 20 horse field. So many angles to look at. What's your angle? Is that a catchphrase? What's your angle?
What's your angle? I just think that we're going to look back at some of the post-time favorite odds that we've gotten in season 20 and earlier, and be like, wow, remember the days we were getting 7-1, 8-1 on the favorite?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, today we're getting 2-1, or maybe even like 3-5, depending on what kind of liquidity and actions start rolling. But that could be crazy, But right now, you're getting, like I said, 8-1, 9-1 on some of these favorites, and a lot of it,
you're getting
again,
great odds, yeah.
People's champs, household names, well-known barns. But again, dive into the data, look at the up-and-comers, find the next Beetlejuice, and you might be able to make some easy Derby on that too. So lots of angles, like you said.
Yeah,
what's your
race
angle?
is this race is thoroughly established stables. It is the virtual Kentucky Derby, so I mean maybe that's appropriate on some level. But okay, so Bend and Break, the 4, YSM, and Beaker. I'm looking at 4 and 5. What do you think of 4 and 5 here? Because Beaker looks really, really strong for an S. This is a Pocono horse, man. Rose of Zion is the sire, but it's a Pocono horse. So Pocono horses are just fast. They're just fast.
You don't want to fade Pocono, that's for sure.
No, you don't want to fade Pocono. He's competing here. I think it's his only horse in the race, but it's an S. But Bend and Break out of YSM. Maybe Bend and Break might even look kind of like the stronger contender for this race to me, I want to say. But it does have a lot of losses to Rizzler, man. Rizzler is just a strong horse. I'm still rooting for Rizzler in my heart, but some of these other horses have made a good case for themselves over the course of this little review. But we're headed into it, man, already. Okay, we covered more horses that time, so that's good, I guess. But here we are. It's the Twin Spires Gallop, mid-distance major, pinnacle of the season. Here we go, penultimate race. Mo in the box. Let's get down to some horse racing.
All right, let's get down to horse business online. Here for the Twin Spires Gallop, and they're off. Kinder Surprise breaks best of it along with Apollo Star. back into Mafia Blue. Freckles trots along here in the top 3 with Mysticor. Then comes Metallic Panda, fan favorite Rizzler, and Bend and Break going to round out the leaderboard as they make their way around the opening turn here in this 8 furlong left turning affair on the dirt. Good track, beautiful day for some racing here, live from virtual Churchill Downs. And up top now is the front runner, Mafia Blue Freckles, here checking in at 23-1. Mafia Blue Freckles, at least short-lived, as kind of surprised, wants to regain what's rightfully theirs, but Mafia Blue Freckles will not go away without a fight. Now back to second or third or fourth even is kind of surprised as Metallic Panda and Lussie's Respite start the roll. Mafia Blue Freckles still up top, the one to catch here at 23-1. Lussie's Respite off the rail and looking for tail here, but fading quickly as Mafia Blue Freckles continues to hold on. Announcer's curse even as Lussie's Respite did not like that call and now battles back here down at the rail to take over the lead. Lussie's Respite here up top, shake them up, and we're heading for home. Lussie's Respite at 13-1. Now is done as Casino Presley sneaking out of nowhere seemingly down the center of the track to take over the lead. Spanish Crayon 10-1. Now on the outside trying to pull up alongside Casino Presley, but Casino Presley too strong here with a perfectly timed move. For Soulmate Stables, it's going to be Casino Presley checking down for that Elvis bloodline there. Beautiful race. What a country. What a race.
I want to say, in the YouTube chat, if you look, you can see Soulmate Stables. You can see him popping in. And he said, "Don't fade Casino Presley." And he was right.
There you go.
We kind of made a cardinal mistake there, dude. We didn't talk about Casino Presley. We kind of faded Casino Presley in a way. We kind of faded Soulmate Stables, which is probably one of the worst things you can do when you're speculating about this game. Probably one of the worst things you could ever do. We faded Soulmate, but we learned again. The lesson has been refreshed. And yeah, Casino Presley takes first. Spanish Crayon out of Sam Bree Stables. Congratulations. Disbelief, Soma, a left dirt enthusiast, Soma a contender. Soma takes third. And then we have Violence out tonight, YSM still in the money, and Enso, 2 horses that we were kind of talking about, looked really good, did make it into the money. So congratulations to all of those stables, all those horses, those digital horses. Hopefully they're smiling. They're giving a big smile digitally. But we're into the big one. The big one.
Time for the big dance.
It's time for the big dance. It's time for the one last dance.
One last dance. And Elvis was the grandparent. Elvis was the grandparent. So we had a horse with Elvis and Rose of Zion in one horse combined.
Elvis grandparent. Yeah.
You know, there you go.
Elvis is the back before we limited it to 1 to 3 only. Elvis, a Soulmate Stables horse, won the virtual Kentucky Derby 3 times. 3 times in his lifetime. Just likes to win the virtual Kentucky Derby. That's what that horse liked to do. So it's progeny. You know, we've seen multiple Elvis horses attack and win the virtual Kentucky Derby. This horse's genes are no joke. Kind of like kind of a really cool endorsement of our genetic system. You know, Elvis, not necessarily on his face, didn't necessarily look like, if you looked at like a PFL DRF, like if you looked at him back in the day, I remember thinking maybe. But the fact that he was Elvis alone, symbolically became oh yeah, he's going to be somewhere on the podium. And lo and behold, he just won. Just really interesting, really cool. And yeah, so a descendant of Elvis wins a left dirt championship event. Not surprising. And maybe we'll see it again in the upcoming race, the virtual Kentucky Derby. 10 furlongs, left dirt. It looks like it's going to be rainy out there, sloppy. So hope you brought your umbrellas, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to get into it. Let's look at the field. Sorrow out of Big Brain Stable. Sorrow, a morose name for a performant horse. Look at this horse. Fearsome. Average 80 fleet. So running, its low end is pretty damn fast. and its high end is incredibly fast. 89 max. Fleet on the soft. So really fast horse. Sire is Petrichor. I believe that's another fairly fast, fairly good horse. Petrichor. What do you know about Petrichor? Why does that name ring such a bell to me, Mo?
Well, and I actually went over this last night.
Okay.
We had done a little preview show. You know, I said, "Oh, Petrichor, didn't that horse win the Derby?" That was the horse that I believe it was Peeb had corrected me on how to pronounce it or what it meant. Remember, it was like the after smell of like a rain, right? Remember we actually went over that. So we covered that, but I think the horse we looked it up took like 19th, I think, in the Derby. But it was there.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was there. Listen, it was a horse that ran Derby. I've never had that yet, so you know, hey, it's still a horse that ran. But that's why it sounded familiar. It was a horse that we actually took a deeper dive into.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, my goal one day is to just have all of this covered. I want to cover every horse somehow. I want to trace every bloodline. I wanted to read like the Old Testament of the Bible. We're just going to trace every single bloodline for hundreds of years.
Well, yeah. Once we get like a 24/7 PFL, network up and running,
yes,
you can go live at like noon before the Derby, and you could do every bloodline. You could do Fibs 5-hour show. You can question and answer with yourself.
Dude,
it would be cool. Actually, I think again, shout out to was it Photo Finish Edge? They have a pretty cool lineage tool on there as well. You can
it's a good platform. Yeah,
great site. And again, lots of great tools out there. Just join the Discord. You guys can get access.
Discord,
information,
ask around,
all you need.
Become friends with people. Become friends with various virtual horse racing enthusiasts. Right. Like maybe you, maybe future you.
Lots of good stuff.
Let's talk about the field. Let's give the field some credence. I know.
Oh, we've been cycling through. Yep.
Yeah. So
seeing who chat likes.
Okay. So we got D Stables, Driney Park, SoCal Stables entering independent of YSM, but we also have YSM in here as well. It looks like only one YSM entry, and that is the 19 Fear Her.
Mm-hmm.
Fear Her. And maybe you should fear her. Although, I don't know. The record, not necessarily as strong as some of these other horses in here. Bobsled out of Driney Park looks pretty good. See You Again out of SoCal looks pretty good.
Stanford Raffles,
sure,
I mean.
The Block Party out of Hazy Hills looks good. By the way, Hazy Hills, another amazing stable. We'll do it live. Absolute horsepower. That's basically the Photo Finish Live mantra.
Right.
Adopted by Stens.
There you go.
Sten's the anti-hero of Photo Finish Live. Maybe that's meaningful somehow. Maybe the combination of those two factors will result in victory just by itself. Totally regardless of race math. It's just the concepts themselves. Then we have Falconbrook Falls out of Grape Syndicate. Another Grape Syndicate. Don't fade Grape too. Grape showing up when Grape Syndicate enters these big races. I feel like I usually see them show up in the money. Falconbrook Falls looking pretty good. Diverger Mage also looking pretty good. Out of Tsetse Fly, I'm seeing a lot of these horses with sort of like offsides weather preferences in this race. It looks like a lot of these horses, it's firm. It's a firm race, and it's kind of catching a lot of these horses off guard. So you have these horses with really, really, really good records at 10, but some of these horses are almost totally untested on the slop. Diverger Mage totally untested on the slop. That's gonna shake up the odds. That's gonna have created a lot of opportunities here. And there are horses in this race that are more than 20-1 that legitimately look like contenders. And that's just a Derby day. That's just a Derby day moment right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Stakes are high. People making these big decisions. People finding these angles. But one strange break in the weather and it's like a whole different game. Now, granted, we've seen plenty of horses win off weather preference. I believe we've seen that probably the last 2 times that we were casting these majors. We've seen it in the minors as well, the grade restricted. See it all over the place. However, it can make enough of a difference to give some of these soft horses that may not have been in contention for the podium a shot at the top. We're going to see how it all plays out. All of the factors, plus the competitive spirit of horse racing itself, digitally embodied today at the virtual Kentucky Derby. A beautiful horse racing tradition, which you and I are forging ourselves at our computer screens. But let's head down to the gate and let's see it happen. Here we go.
All right. Thank you, Fib. Thank you again for joining me today. Thank you, chat. 20 horses, one dream. Here for the prize. They're off and running here in the virtual Kentucky Derby in the Void. Breaks best of it along with Will Do It Live. The Block Party trots along in third along with Hazel Rounded Toe. Back in the 5-hole, that's Hello Stubby in the orange silks and Nothing But a Breeze. Gonna round out the leaderboard here, but we don't stop there in the big one. Back to Dougish Lifestyle, gonna trot along there with Native Queen. Then another break of 3 on the outside is Bobsled with See You Again, also cruising now. Chrono Strike tries to get going here as well with Better Pill, John Rackham, and it's gonna be Stanford Raffles down at the rail, all the way in the back of the pack, and trailing here in the first call is the Verger Mage as we try to make it through all 20 here in the big dance. Around the opening turn, it's still in the Void. All them horse calls, and it's still in the Void, gonna take over the lead, but now it's the Block Party. We got ourselves a race. The Block Party at 19-1, taking over the lead as We'll Do It Live and Sorrow now in control of second and third, tracking the leader. Back to fourth, there goes Bobsled with Silent now starting to gain some ground off the rail. Might have nowhere to go here, blocked in by the front runners, and in the Void, your early leader at 21-1 is gonna round out the leaderboard in sixth here as they try to pick up the pace. 3/4 in the books, making our way around the far turn. And the Block Party is now starting to run away with it. The Block Party opens up by 5. Bobsled in the Void now battles back from the back of the pack as in the Void and Bobsled are the only two things here with the Block Party in sight. But the Block Party, that lead now 5. Make it 4. Bobsled on the outside. We'll Do It Live. We're desperately hoping that somebody wakes up here in the final stretch, but the Block Party is too strong. Bobsled on the outside, awkward eye contact, one final push, Block Party down low, Bobsled on the outside, but Block Party will not go away, says turn up the music, we're going all night. It's going to be the Block Party here for Hazy Hills over Bobsled, and We'll Do It Live. Whew.
Oh yeah. Hazy Hills victory, man. How about that?
Man, that's like when I used to rock out with my old band, and I'm trying to get into the groove, and we're trying to get into the chorus, and just never wanted to get I don't know what was going to happen in that race. That was wild. The Block Party was strong, man. Whew.
It was strong, man. Coming into that the end of the first turn is like so the pack was so tight. Anybody could have broken out on that last stretch, and it just kept going and going, spreading out a little bit, striating, as I would say. Maybe in a science lab, striating out as that Block Party of the 15 making its case, getting distance on the pack, and then Bobsled coming out and contending, but just not enough, man. Just not quite enough. Honestly, if it was 1 furlong more, I feel like Bobsled could have taken it. We'll Do It Live also on the podium. Congratulations. 2 Stens.
Yeah,
2
great runs
Driny
from
and
Stens.
2 Hazy
Nice Driny.
Hills. And then, of course, the odds-on favorite Sorrow still in the money, and a sort of an unexpected horse, Stamford Raffles. At least unexpected to me. Maybe not unexpected to everybody. Made it into the money as well in 5th. And that's I believe that Hazy Hills gets a red name now. I don't think I've ever seen them win a virtual Kentucky Derby, but they are a very, very powerful stable, contentious stable. With HRM, our previous game, they have that kind of experience going for them as well, which is definitely a little bit of alpha, always has been. But yeah, I mean, that was it, man. Season 20 seasons. And virtual Kentucky Derby, man, we're just laying down. Every single one of these seasons is laying down another piece of the history of this game, which is almost totally deliberated by the players, by you guys, how you interact with the game, what your decisions, your strategic decisions, these sort of like these well-forged strategic decisions. And yeah, so it's like it's contentious at the top, but you can make it too. You can make it too, and we've seen it before. We've seen newcomers get up there. And you could get a piece of this, man. And it doesn't end at the Kentucky Derby. It still goes on to the stud barn. It goes on into the bloodlines. It goes on to the legacy. The hand is always being redealt. So super exciting. Nice race, nice finish, and nice call, by the way, Mo. Very good job. So
Thank you.
If there's anything else you want to say, thank you all for tuning in. It was a pleasure. Little Saturday, an hour on a Saturday, well spent, I would say. Very
Yeah, I
enjoyable.
mean, you know, without the awkward eye contact from my girlfriend right now, I say best hour I spend on Saturdays. But yeah, you said it best, man. Listen, the racing actually does not stop. Don't forget, tomorrow we actually do close out the season. We have the juvenile championships going on all day, starting, I believe, like noon Eastern or 1 o'clock Eastern, something like that. So all the 2-year-olds that have been racing stakes races for the past couple weeks, they'll be racing. I'll be live. I think I'm sure Taco and everybody else will be live. Troy, maybe Doughboy. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Like I said, I got a few running. I got Motown. My S Plus will be running in the Sprint Championship. Of course, it's a 4 furlong horse, and it's a rainy track at 6. So, you know, hey, we're happy to be there, but it's going to be, it'll be a good time. And, but yeah, so again, check out tomorrow. I'll be live with a whole bunch of other people, I'm sure, who will also be live. Just tune into the PFL Discord. Get all the info. Yeah, outside that, man, another good Derby show, and we will get back at it next season, man. Season 21, the horses will be old enough to go to the bar in every
that's
state.
right. Yeah, for everybody still tuned in, I just want to point out tomorrow, huge day of juvenile grade restricted finals, just the entire day. Just
Is there an echo in here?
grade restricted finals. So just, you know, make sure you tune in for that. Did I miss that? Sorry, Mo.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, that's going on all tomorrow. So tune in for that. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope that you have a lovely rest of your weekend. Good night.
See ya.